Serena Williams absolutely melted down and turned that final and the aftermath into an absolute disgrace. And now afterwards, in the days that follow, we in the media and those of us in society and out there on social media have followed that disgrace into a massive argument over whether or not sexism can be embodied by the umpiring of tennis at a major championship. It's the Will Cain Show on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, SiriusXM Channel 80, and on ESPNU today. The show is presented by Progressive Insurance. Remember, you can listen to all 3 hours of the show on your phone, on your ESPN app. Serena Williams lost to Naomi Osaka in the U.S. Open final, 6-2, 6-4. Unfortunately, that scoreline and the first ever major for the 20-year-old from Japan has been completely and utterly overshadowed by the controversy induced by Serena Williams' meltdown on the court and her attribution to the penalty she received, 3 conduct violations that ultimately cost her a game in the second set, to sexism. How she was treated, Williams maintains, by the umpire, Carlos Ramos of Portugal, was, Portugal, by the way, forgot about, we should maybe go to our Portuguese correspondent, and if at any point in here you feel like there's some kind of Portuguese information we need to inject, I want you to hit your button, okay? Got it? Okay, cool. That somehow, if she were a man, she would not have been treated the same. She would not have been issued the same conduct violations as what Serena Williams would have us believe today. Here's the way it went down. By the way, I think this is a total disgrace. It's a disgrace to Naomi Osaka, first of all. She handled herself throughout this entire ordeal with honor. She should be celebrated. She has idolized Serena Williams throughout her entire career, and she bested her. Make no doubt about it. She bested Serena Williams in this U.S. Open, and she should be enjoying her moment both yesterday, Saturday, and the days after. But instead, our focus is on this controversy. And I find it an absolute disgrace that somehow sexism is how this is being described. Sexism is at the core of the problem here. Sexism is really the issue here, not whether or not Serena Williams had some conduct violations. This is how it went down. First, Carlos Ramos issued Serena Williams and her coach a warning for a coaching violation. It is against the rules in tennis for a coach to signal or communicate with their player from the box. Her coach quite clearly was giving her instructions to move up to the net. He was moving his hands back and forth later, or at first she said he was giving her a thumbs up. She said she absolutely does not cheat. For what it's worth, her coach afterwards admitted, I was coaching. His excuse, everybody does it. But when Serena Williams argued with Carlos Ramos, the umpire, like this, recognize that the coach has admitted he was coaching.
I didn't get coaching. I didn't get coaching. You need to make an announcement that I didn't get coaching. I don't cheat. I didn't get coaching. How can you say that? You owe me an apology. You owe me an apology. I have never cheated in my life. I have a daughter and I stand what's right for her, and I've never cheated. And you owe me an apology.
I have no idea what the fact that she has a daughter has to do with anything. I have no idea what that absolves someone of a conduct violation in the U.S. Open. It's not a gray area. The coach admitted to it. It was simply a warning for that. For what it's worth at that moment, it was simply a warning for a coaching violation. That's number one. Number two, then, that clearly got under Williams' skin. You can hear there. And as she went forward, she lost a point, lost a game to Osaka, and smashed her racket. Once again, this is not a gray area. This is clear. You smash your racket, you're penalized. Her second conduct violation, that one will cost you a point. In some instances, for what it's worth, it'll get you disqualified. Smash your racket and you're kicked out. She wasn't kicked out. She was issued a second conduct violation. This one cost her a point. Then she went on. She called the referee, demanded an apology. You heard that right there. She berated him, delayed the game for some time. She told him, you're attacking my character. You're never going to work one of my matches again. You are a liar. This went on for some time. You stole a point from me. And not until she said, you are a thief, did he then issue a third conduct violation, this one costing her a game. At that point, she calls all of the umpires out, all of the referees, and continues to argue the calls.
That's not right. This is not fair. This has happened to me too many times. This is not fair. This is not fair. But to give me a point to lose a game for what we're saying, that is not fair. I mean, it's really not. Yeah. But you know how many other men do things that are, I don't think they do much worse than that. This is not fair. There's a lot of men out here that have said a lot of things, and because they're men, that doesn't happen to them.
There you have it. You can hear the crowd beginning to boo. They're booing the umpire, Carlos Ramos. You can hear Serena Williams invoke the charge of sexism there, that they would not be giving these violations were she a man. For what it's worth, Ramos, in 2017 at the French Open, gave Novak Djokovic a conduct violation for yelling at him. In 2018 at Wimbledon, he also gave Djokovic a conduct violation for smashing his racket. In 2016, he did the same to Nick Kyrgios. In 2016 at the Olympics, he gave Andy Murray a conduct violation for saying he was stupid or calling his umpiring stupid. He gave similar conduct violations to numerous men, numerous superstars on numerous big stages throughout his career. But somehow we are led to believe this was an act of sexism. These three different conduct violations. They're not Williams' fault. It wasn't Williams' conduct that led to this. It wasn't Williams that ratcheted up this. No. It was Ramos, who wouldn't have done it if she were a man. That's what Serena Williams and most of your media would have you believe today. It's an absolute falsehood.